Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Thread.
Yes,
Good to be
sir.
here. Good to see you so clearly. This is not a day that you'd want to do an episode outside. Smoke is still here. I mean, it was crazier yesterday, but let's start. Let's start there. Let's start discussing that story. Um, there's a story from the Babylonian Bee. Eric Adams calls on all New York residents to
Hello,
blow really
Babylon.
hard.
Babylon B.
What did I say?
Babylonian.
That would be a better name for them. They should have called it Babylonian Bee.
How about the baloney B?
Yeah. To blow really hard toward Canada on a count of 3.
Yeah, but that's satire. You know, they're not serious about that. Although,
I know.
considering that there are 20 million people in New York, maybe even 40 million by this time, if everybody was blown in the direction of Canada, maybe we could actually get something done. Although I have to
Yeah.
tell you, it was pretty bad yesterday, and I don't know. I speak to a couple of people. I don't want to say their names that are conspiracy theorists, and they have all kinds of ideas how they're trying to force climate change on people. Because most people, most average people, are not buying into this stuff about climate change and the temperature going up a half a degree over the next 30 years. You know, and John Kerry flying all over the world trying to save the planet, and AOC saying the planet Earth only has 9 years left before it ceases to exist.
Well, I don't understand because it's been pretty cold this June so far.
Mm.
It's been pretty cold, and what does a forest fire have to do with climate change? Didn't a leftist start the fire
I
in
don't
Canada?
know. I don't know who started the fire. I don't know. I heard there was also a forest fire in Jackson, New Jersey. Is that true?
There was, yeah.
Well, how did that start? Did someone burning the chametz off season?
I don't know, but we know that this smoke, believe it or not, is coming from a fire in Nova Scotia. There is a viral video that is going around. For those who are watching, I will show it. Just give me a second. But there's a viral video going around of a helicopter flying around in Nova Scotia.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Nova Scotia. It's in Canada.
Yeah. Okay.
And they are attempting to put out the fire.
Uh-huh. What, pouring water on it? What are they doing? Chemicals, water?
Hang on one second. They're attempting to put out the fire, but there's only one problem.
Mm.
You want to know what the problem is?
Yeah, what is it? Let me hear.
I'll show you the video. You could decide for yourself. I don't know. To me, it looks like that helicopter is lighting stuff on fire, not putting out a fire.
Looks like it's spewing fire.
Look at here. I'll show it again.
You know, let me
For
see that
those in
again.
the
Let me see it again. One more time. I don't know. If we can get all the kids to fill their water guns with water, every kid, get their water gun and go near the woods and start using the water guns, may be able to put out those fires. But I don't know.
So
Here,
one second. So I just want to say this video I showed. There is a tweet that accompanies it that says there are many videos like this on Twitter saying Canada is putting their own forest fires on fire with helicopters. The videos are real, but it's actually a method called backburning to fight fire with the help of fire.
mm-hmm. It's an old cliche: fight fire with fire.
Yeah, interesting. Well,
They say
for us,
in the summertime, usually a lot of people, I've seen it amongst Hasidim especially, when it's very, very hot outside in July and August, they drink a very, very hot cup of tea. Okay,
why?
and I don't know, it cools you off somehow. The heat and the hot drink somehow reverses the process and it cools you off.
Is it a minhag or?
I don't know. It could be like the My Pillow guy, My Pillow 2.0, where the guy says he has a pillow that stays cool. Did you know that?
That's cool. No, that I've heard of. I've heard of those types of pillows.
I bought his first pillow and I can't use it. I'm not going to buy a second pillow, even though he's selling it for $29. I'm not buying the second pillow. I don't have faith.
I don't know.
I don't have faith
Listen,
in those kind of things.
everybody's thinking how is there a fire in Canada causing there to be an abnormal amount of smoke and poor air quality in New York.
Well, it has to do with how the wind is blowing. It's been a very windy day yesterday. And I think I heard the weather this morning. This is what they say by the weekend, by tomorrow or Shabbos, the wind is changing direction. There's another kind of front coming in from a different direction. It's going to blow the smoke away. They claim.
Really? Okay, that's good. A lot of people had fun with this. A lot of memes, a lot of good Jewish humor going around about the Rabbanim urge people to end the COVID minyanim because of the poor air quality. Good humor, good stuff. So
Yes, it was very good
people
stuff.
took it. People were able to get their jokes in.
Listen, people have to get on with their lives. The public schools in New York, by the way, are closed today. They take any opportunity. I don't know how it is up by you in Rockland, but they take any opportunity to have teachers stay home and get paid. Okay,
Yeah,
and
but
if it's
there wasn't a lot of snow days this year. So you know what?
so they're using those days now. Maybe they're using those
Give
days now. But
give it to them.
the whole idea. You think those kids that are giving up from school, so they shouldn't have to go out to go to school, but they might breathe in the smoke. You think they're all home, just having breakfast 3 or 4 times? They're out in the
No,
street.
I think, to be honest, that the smoke today, we're talking on Thursday, June 8th, is far better. I mean, it's far better outside than it was yesterday on June
Okay,
7th.
all right, good. So it's improving. Let me tell you about an
Yeah.
interesting lawsuit in Miami Beach, Florida. The Kerestir Shul,
Okay.
Shai Baisha, the Kerestir
Yep.
Shul was sued the city of Miami Beach for harassing them and fining them for using their building. It's in a private home, using their shul as a private home. Anyway, they sued the city of Miami Beach and they won the lawsuit. And Miami Beach is giving them $1.3 million.
Not
Um,
bad. Okay. Good for
okay,
them.
they resolved. They agreed to pay $1.3 million, $100,000 more than the buyer on behalf of the congregation paid. And it's $100,000 more than the building was worth when they bought it. So what was going on here? They claimed the city of Miami Beach was harassing them, and they were open during the whole time during COVID because they claimed they're not a shul. They claimed they're a private home. It's a private residence, and only people can come there are people that are invited there. And even during COVID, you're allowed to invite people into your home. Maybe it wasn't advisable for health reasons or some other reason, but at some point, once things calmed down, people invited people into their home. So they claimed they were in a shul. They were visited by inspectors over a year and a half period, 126 times, almost every week. They were inspected and giving fines. And the city of Miami Beach put up cameras to keep the shul under surveillance. So they sued and they won, and
Good for them.
they have to make certain changes to the way they operate. They have to make it. They have to have. They can't use loudspeakers. One of the concessions is they can't use loudspeakers. I don't know why they use loudspeakers in the first place, and they can't
Interesting.
daven outside, and
Okay.
they're getting like I said, what did I say? $1.59 million they're getting from the city of Miami Beach because the judge ruled that they were being overly harassed
Right.
by the inspectors. So that's the
Very
Kerestir.
interesting.
That's the Kerestir Shul. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but it's in Miami Beach somewhere. Shaibra
Good for
Moshe.
them. Good for them. Good for them. Good for them getting what they deserve, getting that money.
All right. What else
What
you
do
want
you,
to talk about? You were going to ask me that same
well,
question?
no, I wasn't. Um, I see a story here that Rockland Hatsala honors a child who saved friend from a grievous injury. A
Yes.
young child was honored. He was honored by Rockland Hatsala after his quick and decisive thinking saved his friend potentially being gravely injured during an accident. Nuta Markowitz, the son of Rockland Hatsala member Rami Markowitz, was with a friend when the latter was struck by a vehicle. Nuta
Mhm.
exhibited exceptionally swift thinking and sound judgment, immediately dragging his injured friend off the street, preventing a second vehicle from hitting him as well. The victim is now recovering from his relatively minor injuries, and Nuta is being hailed as a hero. In recognition of his courageous act, Rockland Hatsala presented him with an award and an honorary Hatsala ID card.
That's
And
nice.
there's some pictures here, very cute, good stuff. Gotta always think quick, and a shout out to Nutta for being the hero of the day here on the Daily Thread. What do you say about that?
I think that's great when people could take initiative and spring into action, and and help other people. That's the name of the game. That's the primary thing that we are about and that we're been created for, to help our brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
You want to play that clip that I sent you from that minister? Did you happen to see it at all?
What you talking about?
The
Oh, it's a
it's
3 minute clip. What is
no,
she
no.
saying?
She spoke at a dinner Monday night, which was in honor of the UN ambassador, Israel's UN ambassador, Gilad Erdan, and she talked about how important the Haredim are to the state of Israel, and that they're the greatest resource to the state of Israel. And she said that in her estimation, the Torah community and the Haredim are Israel's Iron Dome. They are the protectors. They are the protectors of Israel. You should
she has she has an amazing speechwriter. That's all I could say. That's great. It's a great thing to say.
you should find it and you should play it because it's like less than a 3 minute clip. I took a small clip of it, and I think people
I
would
must not be looking
appreciate.
at the right thing. I see 2 minutes 56 seconds. That's not it.
No, there's a shorter one. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you, and we'll.
I see a story here via JTA. This doesn't apply for quite a while, but pretty interesting. New York City public schools don't have the final 2 days of Passover off next year. A
Mhm,
petition is trying to change that. New York City educators and parents are protesting after the city announced that public schools would be open for part of Pesach next year,
mhm,
breaking from the long-standing tradition.
mhm.
The 8-day holiday has overlapped virtually every year with the city's spring break since 1973, when Jewish teachers successfully lobbied to guarantee the alignment. Next year, Easter and Pesach are separated by 3 weeks, making it impossible for the city's week-long school recess to overlap with both of them.
You know
The
why that
school
is?
year. Why is that?
Because there's two others next year.
Okay,
So,
but I'm sure this happened before. There was two others a couple of years ago, also.
I mean, listen, different administrations see things differently and run things differently, and we're living in. We
Yeah,
don't realize it because days go by very slowly, and it looks like everything's the same all the time. But things change, administrations change, and people's attitudes change, and there's a lot of friction and a lot of conflict out there. And it's not always obvious, but people don't want to take
yeah,
into consideration the last 2 days of Pesach to accommodate
yeah. There's a quote.
who they
There's a quote
accommodating.
here. There's a quote here. Yocheved Diskin. She's an occupational therapist in a public school in West Harlem, and she said, "I'm religious, and I'm required by my religion to take off those days. And now I
Yeah.
have to take extra 2 days off, and I don't get paid at all for them."
Well,
So it's not about the. I don't think it's about the Jewish students per se as much as the
teachers.
therapists, the teachers that
Yeah,
are
yeah,
Jewish.
yeah. Of course, that's
What happened? Yeah, what
that,
happens to them now?
listen. They got to take vacation days or sick days. That's what a lot of people do in business. When they're not accommodated by the fact that it's Yom Tov and they're working in the business world. What are you supposed to do? You take a sick day or take a vacation day. You can't complain about that, really.
I hear you. I don't know.
I don't know. Another problem that we really can't solve. Anyway, I was
And
at the.
this is a while.
Did I mention that I was at the United Hatsala dinner
No.
on when was it? Tuesday night. Tuesday night. What's today? Today's the 8th, so I was there June 6th.
How
Um,
was that?
it was very impressive. Ellie Bear put together quite an organization. 7,000 volunteers. They changed the face of what it means to respond to an emergency medical situation in Eretz Yisrael, with usually most of their response time is maximum of 90 seconds. They get to someone's always available. They have
It's
these
amazing.
ambicycles. So I was driving into the city on the way to his dinner. Actually, I was on the Williamsburg Bridge, and there was a Hatsala ambulance apparently coming from Williamsburg going into the city, and nobody was moving. Nobody was moving.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you can't transport a patient on a motorcycle, you know, to a hospital. That's not what the ambucycles do. But they have
Any treatment? Yeah.
they have the knowledge. They have the knowledgeable paramedics or EMTs and the equipment on back of the motorcycle to be able to stabilize the patient until an ambulance can get through. Anyway, Robert
100%.
Kraft. Robert Kraft was the guest speaker, the owner of the New England Patriots, and he mentioned that this Shabbos is his bar mitzvah pascha, Bar Leischa, and he recited part of the Haftorah that he remembered by heart, the beginning of the Haftorah and the end of the Haftorah. And what can I tell you? It was a magnificent show. And over 1,200 people were at Cipriani's on Wall Street. Traffic was impossible, but traffic is impossible everywhere. So nothing new under the sun.
New York, New York, it's impossible. Honestly, it seems like that New York is an issue with traffic, and honestly, I don't know what's gonna ever happen about that. But listen, those are our stories for today. Big thank you to our friends at Sensible Marketing for making this show possible. Shimmy, Ron, and Jeremy, you guys are awesome. They are the top people in the nursing home marketing field. So make sure if you need nursing home marketers that you reach out to Sensible Marketing. That is sensiblemarketing.com. It is the sensible thing to do.